What is going on, everybody? My name is Jason. I am joined by Scott. Scott, how are you doing today?
Doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic, man. So you're the artist for this Kickstarter for Stilettos. How did you get started in, drawing, illustrating, and then in the comic books?
As a kid, I started off just drawing on 8.5 by 11 folded paper and making comic books at school with some friends, and never let the habit go. So I kept working on it as I got older, and finally got to a point where I wasn't ashamed to show it to other people. So kind of get into some other comics, and then fortunate enough to meet my partner Nick to now put together a couple of books. So it's exciting to see all this come together.
How did you guys find each other?
I have Unearthly Comics, so I was selling books, and Nick happened to come by the table to talk comics, and he was a writer looking for an artist, and I was an artist who can't write, so it was a good partnership to meet up. So then that was right before COVID, and so it allowed us during that downtime to work on our Gatorman Kills was our first successful project, and now we're doing Stilettos.
Nice. So tell me about the book.
Stilettos is like Showgirls meets the most dangerous game. So a group of dancers are hired to dance at a remote cabin, and little do they know these are bad men, and but revenge and chaos ensues afterwards. So it's a survival thriller.
So how do you guys work together? Is everything written and then sent over to you, or is it more collaborative than that? You said you've done a couple projects together. Is it collaborative, or does he write it and does he send it to you?
So with both stories, we kind of collaborate and brainstorm ideas, and have just spend hours just talking through story beats and ideas, and oh, what about this, or we should try this, or this character would be cool, or whatever. And so we kind of bring it together like that, and then Nick will go off and write the script, and then we'll look at it together, and then we'll just go through it and kind of edit it for just ideas, and then I'll start drawing it, and then even throughout the whole process, he'll be like, oh, I want to try something different here, or have them say this, and then I'll modify something. So it's a good partnership. We mesh well together for the collaborative spirit of creating comics.
Yeah, I see that the first Kickstarter did really, really well, and this one it's doing fantastic.
Yeah.
What's that feeling like when you throw something on Kickstarter? Like, what's the initial, like you did the first one, or when you do your first project, what's that feeling like? Is it very nerve-wracking?
Oh yeah. It's pure dread, hoping that you make it. You're refreshing the page multiple times a day, from the minute you hit start, and you're just hoping that there's enough people out there that would be interested in the story idea, and making a commitment to supporting something that from independent artists. So it's a good feeling when it does reach the goal, for sure. But until that point, it's definitely nerve-wracking.
How long have you been doing comic books?
In any real capacity, Unearthly Comics has been around for about 10 years. So I've started with more underground comics, and then did sci-fi, did a crime miniseries, and now the two newest ones are the Gatorman Kills, which is the thriller slasher horror, and then Stilettos, which is our revenge thriller. So definitely tend to lean into the horror vein right now.
Do you love horror? Do you have a favorite horror franchise, or a favorite horror movie?
Yeah, it's a tough challenge to decide on just one. I love slashers. I got my Dream Warrior shirt on, so that I love that one. The third one I think is besides the OG is still I think the best one for me, the Dream Warriors. But any good slasher, Jason, I like any of those type of things. And then of course more modern stuff, I like X and Pearl, for doing the Ty West trilogy with Maxine coming out. Psycho Gorman for horror, just absurd comedy type. That's a fun one. So yeah,
Dude, I can't wait for
pretty good range.
Maxine.
It's going to be awesome. I'm excited.
Oh my god, X was
Yeah.
so good, and I thought Pearl was even better, which
I know.
is crazy because they were made like right next to each other, and then Maxine is. Oh, I can't wait! I'm so excited.
I know. I'm stoked. I've already rewatched X, and then I'm going to rewatch Pearl, and then I think Maxine's out in what, like a week or two. I mean, it's coming up quick. So yeah, I was so surprised by those movies and how good they were, and Mia Goth is amazing, in them. So yeah, I can't wait. Very excited.
Man, it's a good time to be a horror fan right now. There's so much. Horror has become I've always enjoyed horror, but it's become my favorite genre over the last few years because the horror genre in and of itself has all the other genres within it. So you can get action horror, comedy horror, sci-fi horror. I love it. It's fantastic. And Dream Warrior is my third favorite nightmare movie. It's fantastic, but I put New Nightmare slightly above it because that movie, it's the only one I've seen in theaters, and it terrified me when I was a kid.
So it holds a special place for sure. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's awesome.
Scream's my favorite horror franchise, and that's kind of like the precursor for Scream. You can kind of see where he's borrowed elements from it. But yeah, I could talk to you about horror all day. But I need to check out your work. Because what made you decide to start on Earthly Comics?
It was. Sorry, my camera was freezing up there. But you were asking what made us start on Earthly. Honestly, it was just an opportunity to try to get my own comics out, into people's hands and try to do something with independent work. And it was just a fun challenge to try to really go all in on making something and not backing out. So it was a kind of forced me to complete projects and then see them through. So it was just a good opportunity to force myself to stick with comics.
Nice. Okay, well, transitioning back to the Kickstarter. So it's got 11 days left. Everybody, you guys can go definitely jump in there on it. I shared it in the comments, and it's also in the notes for the show down below. But before we go, is there anything else you want to talk about as far as the Kickstarter goes?
No, we just appreciate anybody that's willing to take a chance on some independent, horror and thriller, and we're excited to just get in front of people's eyeballs and get an audience for it, because I think that's the biggest key for independent stuff is finding an audience and finding people willing to give it a shot. So hopefully we're creating content that people are enjoying and willing to check out. So we're excited to see where this project goes and where all our future projects end up also. So yeah, like you said, it's a good time to be into horror. Yeah,
it's good talking to you, Scott. One of these days I'll have to get you on our live show to talk horror. We could probably talk for hours about that. But again, thank you, everybody. Yeah. Check out the Kickstarter. Support independent comics. They're doing a lot of good stuff, and sometimes that stuff turns into stuff you love down the road. So jump down below, check it out. And again, Scott, thank you so much. And everybody out there, like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.